Clutch a pen like a purse without straps. From a small place of New York State that busts the most caps. In a city of lace blunts and lace fronts, she rugged like your kitchen in the back with all naps. Camo fatigue, black Eskimo. IMO, 20 years, still the best of flow. So saying that you want it with your girl is pure bull. When what I do with beef is unethical. Get slaughtered by this black and unbothered. My flag still stands on lands that's uncharted. I see a lot of industry fakes, lot of industry snakes, but most of them garter, smarter, harder than most men. A Pimp Floyd Mayweather minus the boasting and a flick. I'm a black aphorism approaching. In other words, I cause fear to put it mildly. Only ghost I fear the smidge might have been Styles P. Even that disappears when the lights on, or when I'm in a room of men with a mic on, calling me a legend or an icon. They salute to the great in my prime lifetime. Amazon and steak, I stay heavy on your head, packet full of lead. Now zoom, get your shovel, ground, burying me dead.
What's good, everybody? It's the Butters Basics show every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. Please believe it. Got some dope guests in the building today. We are the platform for the unknown to get known. Thanks for rocking with us every Sunday here at DTF Radio.
Hey yo, spiritual blind man, you ain't ready to see. You went from A to C, cause you ain't ready to be a BDB. This fuck, you soft as Teddy B, smooth as Teddy P, serious steady B, BDP. My philosophy when I spit for your chakras, don't fall for the con, don't mean shocker. You see it, there saw shocker demons, murder hero, get alive when he's speaking, so to speak. I'm like, so shrugs when you speaking. I never mean to be, but you're glowing mean to me. It ain't Leroy, it won't prosper like Leonard Nimoy. You full of yourself, totally devoid, so spiritual blind mind.
So everybody that's tuned in right now, every Sunday 2 to 3 p.m. here on the Butters Basics show, we are the platform for the unknown to get known. My name is Butter, and I'm pursuing Butters Basics anger management. Right now, anger management for the diaspora, y'all. You listening to the sounds of Asa Buchanan. Turn that up.
You gotta be real with yourself.
Blind man, know your spirit could see. Ray and Stevie, Art Tatum, Mick Tail with Lee. We can't forget Jose Mi Navidad Feliz. Never sap at the mill, but big up Ronnie. And that edition ain't the one that includes Bobby. I'm from the land of make believe. I can see the trolley from afar. Hear you talking in my face, sorry. Not about giving pardon, no way, I'm Dali. Unless it ends with llama, then I'll say probably. Listening to Slum B, asking what's the problem. Keep your girl away from me, macking like Charlie. No, I'm not from Billy. Ready like Roxy, skating all over your mind like we in the Roxy. Everybody ain't meant to ride, take the backseat. Most y'all front, cause y'all know how to backbeat. Peace to Buchanan bangers, lace in the backbeat. We fulminating.
Been peeling off, yeah. Cause I won't entertain no bad vibes here. Oh, and I hear your words, but can tell your soul ain't in it. And if you really wanna break that mold and crack that code to winning, you gotta be real with yourself.
Yo, you're listening to the sounds of Asa Buchanan, man. I'm feeling like it's dopamine right now. Let me know. How's it feel to you?
Listen, we ain't entertaining bad vibes.
Oh, man.
I love that.
We not, right?
We not entertaining bad vibes.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
You know what I'm gonna do right now? I wanna introduce everybody before we even drop that right now. Yo, DJ Hannibal's on the left of me.
Word.
Also the best of me. Yo, DJ Hannibal, tell them where they can find you at, hun. Don't be lazy with it. Lift that mic up and talk to the people.
I said to keep it simple. I'm not blocking my face on the mic. You got MT 1906 SP91 on the gram. Always on SoundCloud as DJ Hannibal. Life is good and music is life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Let me find out that's your every week situation. Yo, sitting to the left of you, the best of you, huh?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Akadot718 at Instagram from BX Representative.
Okay. All right. Peachy Suze.
Rich Pampington, it's your girl Peachy Soul.
It's awesome, awesome, awesome.
Sundays brunch.
Tell them who you are, my dear. She hosts the Sunday brunch show here at DTF Radio every Sunday from 12 to 1 p.m. Peachy Suze, tell them where they can follow you, love.
You can follow me at Peachy Suze on that gram, PEACHIESUZE. I'm a little tipsy.
Hey! Get us a couple of Brooklyn gunshots for that. You're a little tipsy? Yo, I love to talk to my peoples this way because I know when they sit home, they're like, yo, I don't want to hear no more of these motherfucking hoteps talking on this hotep around. They always, Butters Basics always coming trying to confuse the artist with this hoteps. Ah! It's a fact. You know, I don't like that nigger talk.
But it has to be that.
But
it has to be said.
you know, some people do it, and now, you know, I don't really get into it. But, you know, this is therapy, anger management sessions for the diaspora. I love the one little hour that I get. Thank you very much to the ancestors for allowing me to be blessed enough to be here and talk to the people with this voice that I have. I hear people like it, so you know I like to deliver. Stand and deliver like Morgan Freeman. I hate Morgan Freeman.
Whoa.
Sorry.
No.
Yo, whatever. Yo, he don't cut checks for me.
That's everybody's uncle.
How can you hate? He's God.
Listen, you heard? And when they put certain people in positions to feel a certain way, people feel a certain way and react that certain way. I do not fuck around, and I like that black man, but I hate what he does to us.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman is half a sandwich.
Fuck out of
Really?
here.
Half a sandwich.
Fuck out of here with that shit, Morgan. Yo.
That's my uncle at the barbecue who be like, hey, young niece, you looking
Yo,
good.
go, let me tell you something. Go burn the moles off at the laser place, kid. Yo, sitting to the left of Peachy Sue's right now, Asa Buchanan. Yo, pick your jaw up, kid.
Yo, did you just
Talk about
did you just throw shots at Morgan like
Who
that?
are you? He don't cut my bills. He don't pay checks. He don't do none of those things. And I have a lot of reasons why, because I've watched his career and I like what he's done. Excellent black man. Represent black
Fair
people,
enough.
then don't play games with me.
Except
Fair
when he
enough.
says forget
Go
your
ahead.
history. Yeah.
Fair enough. What up, y'all? I'm the Abominable One, Asa Buchanan, Buchanan Bangers at Instagram.
Big up.
And Asa Buchanan, that's Buchanon.
Awesome,
So you
awesome.
could get him, you could get at me anywhere. Facebook.
Listen, spell it out, because people don't know how to spell. You say your
Yeah,
name,
well,
they be like, well.
ASA, and it's not Asa, it's Asa. Asa,
Asa
A-S-A.
Buchanan.
Buchanan, B-U-C-H-A-N-O-N. And
I
it's
like that.
Buchanan Bangers in Instagram and Twitter as well.
Hey, so you were also a part of a duo at one point in time?
So yes, we
Talk about it.
call Bugnanas. What you heard, the second track that you played is my man Phase One. He was part of my group. Now he's doing so much amazing things. But we still a group like Bugnanas forever. You know what I'm saying? All
It's
day.
like Wu-Tang.
Always.
Exactly.
Arms,
always.
leg,
Yeah,
leg,
yeah.
arms, head, all that.
All that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love that. You know, we're going to go into that track that we cut off and we wanted the world to know, but I want everybody to know who they're listening to. This is the Butters Basics Show. Every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. here at Butters Basics.
There you go.
I know sometimes
Butter-
I make a
Butter's
little
always in
slurpy
the
noise.
mix.
You know, butter is always in the mix
Mix.
is my hashtag. You can see a lot of my work there. I hope Revolt TV is watching. Hi, Diddy. I really appreciated the fact that you put Farrakhan on yesterday. That was how I spent my July 4th.
Listening to
Independence Day
Farrakhan?
here, listening to Farrakhan talk.
Nice.
And I will definitely get into that because I appreciated the fact that there was a black network, if you want to call it that, Fox Soul, that was supposed to have Farrakhan talk, but they decided at the last minute. I don't know how these business deals work, kid, because to me, business means we situated a month ago or last week, we had it locked in, and then all of a sudden, y'all motherfuckers changed the game up on me, and I gotta find and scramble and figure out and this and that. But you know, the owners of certain things don't allow certain things to go on, so I'm thankful that Diddy, Revolt, thanks. I appreciated that. I watched the whole thing in its entirety.
Well, you know, Fox News has always been known to be racist.
Well,
And
this is
yeah.
Fox Soul.
It still says Fox.
Exactly.
Because if something said Trump Soul, you'll still say, hey, it's still
It's
Trump.
still Trump. So we're gonna do it
Yeah,
like this, y'all.
It's like an oxymoron altogether.
Hannibal,
Trump soul.
let's play that song right there. Let's let the people get a feel for what
Oh, that's
Asa Buchanan's
fulminating.
got
Make sure
to
the volume is
offer.
up. Make sure the volume is up. It's
Fulminating.
playing.
It's featuring my man M. Allen on the chorus and my man Phase One on the vocals. And I
don't
produced
hear
the track.
that.
It's up. It was just playing.
I
You just turned
sing
it down.
too. Who do you love?
Let's do that. Let's start it
You
again.
ready?
I'm ready for that. Asa Buchanan, tell me what the name of the
Yo.
song is.
No, not this one. The one before that.
I want to hear this one real
This
quick.
one has no vocals. It's an instrumental. It's an instrumental.
just-
This is a
Slow
hot instrumental, boy.
Thank you. I
Wait,
appreciate that.
let's hear with that.
Started from the to-that. Started again.
Dirty bungle, you come through with the
Bring it back,
instrumental
man.
that
Bring
hold
it back.
old people, young people, make them step twice.
There you go then.
You
Yes,
know what the
yes,
appeal was when you
yes,
did
yes.
that, right?
Absolutely.
I like that.
So what if I put a hot 16 to this?
Go.
Peachy,
All right,
really?
Go.
Go. Go.
It just can't be laced with a bunch of nigga talk. Nah, I'm not with that shit at all.
My name is Peaches. I stay preaching.
My name is Peaches, and I'm the best. All the
Oh,
DJs
What
wanna
to feel my brass? I'm so
I'm
done with y'all. I'm done
I'm
with
done.
y'all. Yo,
I quit. I'm
let me.
logging out.
What's the one you want to hear?
Play Fulminating again. That's matter of fact, go to the first one. That's my homegirl Indeed from Buffalo, New York.
Hey, shout out to Buffalo,
Word,
New York.
word.
I got a lot of bread up there when I was in college.
Oh, got you.
We talking about the
Got you.
Zoom mix, right?
Zoom. That's
Yeah.
my homegirl Indeed. She was once down with De La and all that a while ago. She's lyrically
Inclined.
a problem.
Let's do it. And then we
ready.
come back, jump right into my convo.
We just need
Let's
some
do
volume.
it.
We need some
go.
volume.
Thank you for coming, Asa.
Come on now.
Shout outs to Akin, your manager.
Mr. Hard Lemonade.
Some volume,
Hey.
y'all.
We got it.
Dopamine, 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 dopamine.
She clutch a pen like a purse without straps. From a small place of New York State that busts the most caps. In a city of lace blunts and lace front, she rugged like your kitchen in the back with all naps. Camo fatigue, black Eskimo. IMO, 20 years, still the best of flow. So saying that you want it with your girl is pure bull. When what I do with beef is unethical. Get slaughtered by this black and unbothered. My flag still stands on lands that's uncharted. I see a lot of industry fakes, lot of industry snakes, but most of them garter, smarter, harder than most men. A Finn Floyd Mayweather, minus the boasting and a flick. I'm a black aphorism approaching. In other words, I cause fear, to put it mildly. Only ghost I fear the smidge might have been Styles P. Even that disappears when the lights on, or when I'm in a room of men with a mic on, calling me a legend or an icon. They salute to the great in my prime like time, Amazon and steak. I stay heavy on your head, packet full of lead. Now zoom, get your shovel, go on, burying me dead.
Yowza. That was short and sweet. Sounds like a soundboy burial to me. I don't know. Like, you tell me, who you talking to on that song like that?
Yo, that's what I asked her, yo.
I'm done.
Yeah.
She said you.
Behaving poorly, man.
Yo.
I want to know the essence of your music before we even jump into the conversation. Like, you've been doing this for how long now?
Do I really want to answer that question?
Of course you do.
We've been doing it for over 25 joints.
Nice.
I mean, you know, the whole 90s era up to now, a lot of game changing, you know what I'm saying? Adjusting, but not compromising, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I've been doing this for a long time.
And your partner, Phase One, he's also been doing the same.
He's been doing this for a long time as well.
Why do you love hip hop so much?
Because that's basically what raised me. That was, yo, and I know a lot of people can contest to this. Hip hop saved a lot of us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We would have been the other nonsense had it been for hip hop. It would
Where'd you grow up? You grew up in the BX?
I grew up in the BX, baby.
What part?
BX make some noise.
South Bronx, baby.
Because Peachy's
Oh,
from the
wait,
BX
yeah, I'm
too.
from the
I'm
Bronx, too.
so
By
happy to
Castle Hill.
let the BX rock with
So
each
you
other
already
today.
know. But
Let's
I'm a
go.
Brooklyn girl now. But hey,
You always Bronx, though. You always gonna be Bronx. Like, we in Jersey now, but we not Jersey dudes.
you still right? Yeah.
feel
Still
me?
rep the X all day, every day.
One question that I always love to ask my guests are, for this particular series of tackling the anger management for the diaspora, I want to know if you understand who you are. You know, were you born into American citizenship, or were you born over in Africa? I know you guys got names like Akin and Asa. Like,
Akeem.
excuse me, because not every kinfolk is, every skinfolk is kinfolk. I hear they keep saying so. Akin, are you an African American?
Yes. Our parents, my grandparents.
Talking to the mic, my friend.
Whoa, pause.
Good catch.
Our grandfather was born in Africa, but
Yeah.
we were all born here.
Where's he from?
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
Sierra
Nice.
Leone.
Awesome. You know, that's like a West African
Yes.
situation, right?
Yes.
You know, I've been doing a lot of research lately, and I don't know how many of my people's been doing the same thing, taking a look at the slavery situation, because everybody right now is looking at reparations like it's the next big thing, the ticket for the win for election. And, you know, I see the faces, but I'm like, yo, kid, I'm wondering, I'm first generation American through Caribbean parentage. Like, yo, is there a check in it for me? I'm wondering. I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Yo, it would be nice, but I
It
don't
would
see
be.
that happening.
We're not getting reparations.
Nah, I
It
don't see
might.
that.
Y'all don't know.
Why does everybody think that we're not really gonna
Because
get it?
this is the way they probably think. Listen, yes, America was built off the slaves of the backs of slaves, but we didn't send you back. We let you stay here and live free.
Right.
Who's
So-
the we that lets you stay here? There,
Yeah,
the immigrants that actually
No.
came through.
That's
and
the
like,
foundation of white supremacy. That's going to this. The whole point of it is that there was a mindset that was developed to justify the plundering of the world by saying that the white race is superior to all others. So whenever you get into these silly discussions about, well, you didn't send me back, or I didn't do this to you, anybody who benefits from the privileges of today that's based upon the oppression of the past, it is up to you to join with me to fix the situation as it exists. I don't need a check. I need to not be killed by the goddamn police.
Hello.
I don't need a check. I need to make sure that when I send my kid to the local elementary school, that when they spend $32,000 a year in a place that I'll just call Papaquah, because I used to work there, up in upstate New York where the Clintons live, that they spend the same $32,000 a year per kid in Brooklyn. Then we can start talking about equity. And from my standpoint, that's where the reparations come.
So basically, just giving black folks equal rights. That's all we asking for.
son, and I mean,
Equal opportunity,
and
equal
you know what?
resources,
I don't have
equal
a,
access.
I don't have a problem with all that, but I also
want a
feel
check.
like there should be a check.
Thank you.
I ain't saying no
But-
to
I
the
want a
check.
check.
You
I
know
didn't say
what?
no to the check.
I want a
We're
check.
never gonna say no to the check.
But my thing,
Wait.
my thing,
Because those are the praises for the check.
no, my thing.
I don't give a fuck what. I'm sorry, BJ. I don't want to cut you off. I do want to just say this. I don't give a fuck what anybody feels like until you cut a check. I can't talk the way I want to talk because my money won't walk the way it wants to walk.
But-
and even if you don't give me the amount that I want, if you cut me something, I'll find. I've been used to finding a way. Our ancestors have been used to finding a fucking way to make things work. Trust me. Cut the fucking check, and we're gonna find a way to make things work. We
what
already
you-
mashing up the place. Go ahead,
What you have
PG.
to remember is that nothing in life is free. So you can sit there and you can cut a check, but what the hell is going to come with that check? And that's what people is not understanding. Go ahead and cut me a $32,000 check. I bet you so much
What made you
bullshit
come up
is
with
gonna-
that number?
Because no, because they said it. They said with all the African Americans, if and what you could be owed, someone actually came up with a thing. Cut each African American a $32,000 check.
Not enough.
Well, and I just want to jump in on
That's
some
just a
details.
down payment
the
for
number per
debts?
person is actually between 100 and 150,000. My issue is right now there's a bill that's been in Congress for more than 20 years to study reparations. Study it, right? And that bill hasn't passed. So I'm putting that in context, saying there are actions that need to be taken. These same people who are pandering to us for our vote and then forget about us the next day. Oh, I got an agenda, Chief. And I guarantee you that if you're going to try and play me like you played Barack Obama and stabbed him in the back for 6 years, and Democrats, I'm talking to you. Biden, I'm talking to you. I remember what you did, so I don't believe what you say.
But then you know what it comes down to then? As black people, when do we unify? When do we say, let's take our black dollars, take it out of the regular white supremacy shopping
after they cut the check.
Not even after they cut the check. Once we show them how much power our black dollar has, now you going to motherfucking respect us. Now you want me to come back and spend my money with you? Give me a reason.
Let me explore that just a little bit further, because for everybody that's listening to us right now, all my people that's paying attention to me right now, I know for a fact, unless you got something else going on, super hustle, right? Which we love to, we always find some type of way. Hun, right now with all the different things in place to get money from the government, people is living better than when they was working their own regular fucking job right now, kid. So we can, we right now, when you cut that extra check, hun, you gotta find bombs again for the Tulsa situation that's about to happen again when we put the shit together, because we've been planning.
You have to look at it like this. They could cut us the check all they want. What are we going to do with the check?
Yes.
Hun, I'm telling you, we've been planning.
Yes.
What are we going to do
planning
with the check? And I'm going to tell you what I've been doing.
We can mess some stuff up.
Yeah.
But we like to wear our wealth. We don't understand investment. We don't understand appreciating assets. Okay?
Because you give somebody who's 19 a check. Let's say you give them $100,000. They're going to go get the car, some Gucci, Louis, Dior, whatever's popping right now, and that money's going to go to waste. When there's an actual plan, when I give you your money, are you going to invest it into having something that your kids can live off of?
Right.
Then cut the check.
First and foremost,
but until we are financially illiterate, don't cut no check.
First and foremost, I'm not even thinking about giving people no individual checks. If you don't got your business aspect together and got your organization together, there's no check to be given to you. Now you're going to be forced into joining organizations that support what's going to happen with the checks. Because from what I hear, and this might be ignorant as fuck,
you can't prove it, but you know it to be true.
A lot of people happen to like material things because last week we spoke about the ghetto mentality. You weren't here for that, but if you go back and you listen to episode from last week, we spoke on the ghetto mentality, and we spoke about the things that embraced it and how it came about. Material things. Right now, we don't have an interest for it because we'll mash up the whole fucking place without worrying about what we wearing tomorrow, because guess what? As long as we got the guns to get the shit done, kid, everything will get mashed up and we don't fucking care anymore. Because what you've done generation after generation after generation was placate the community. We're tired of watching people get murdered in the way that they've been getting murdered. And we don't want to discuss our own murder rate amongst each other because everybody in tight, close-knit communities has crime.
No, but Butter, from my standpoint, I want to talk about the murder rate because the murder rate is driven by capitalism. At the end of the day in Chicago, if they weren't going block by block fighting for drug territory, because from my standpoint, I got some radical solutions. Legalize drugs. I don't care if you take drugs. I care if you take drugs and you're driving my bus. I care if you take drugs and you're driving my plane. I want testing to make sure that the people who are on drugs are not making my food or impacting my life. But I don't care if you want to go ahead and buy drugs. You take the profit incentive out of it, you'll end the murder rate in Chicago. Because I don't want to hear about little white kids dying in Sandy Hook and black children dying in Chicago every day. One of them is a national crisis. The other one is a failure of morality.
And let's say that it depends on whose viewpoint it is. Because even though we can all look at it that same way, when they present it in the big mainstream media, they're only talking about it one type of way. Black on black crime. Nobody says white on white crime.
But it's an obvious fact.
Can I finish? They don't say Asian on Asian crime.
Right.
They don't say Indian on Indian crime. You don't hear about none of those things. So why demonize the black person that happens to have a crime situation happen in their neighborhood?
Honestly, because I think it's on a higher level and it's a nonsense level. I think that's why they demonize it so much, because usually when you hear about white on
higher
white
level.
Yeah, it's like saying water is wet.
Let me tell
you
you
kill the
something.
people who are close to you,
Let me tell you
That's
something,
all.
Beachy. When we have a deviant that speaks on it as if it is something different than what everyone else is doing, that's when it becomes a problem where they can pinpoint it as if it was a major issue in our own community, like if it's not the same in their own. Everyone suffers from crime. And this is one of the things I'm sorry that I have to talk about, because it bothers me that I grew up around Vanderveer, was in the projects every day. I didn't live in the PJs, but I'm a stone's throw away from it. But yet, it was my hood, and it's where I hung out, and it's where we live at, and it's how we know who we know. It is our community. And there was a regularity in young black men, and even the females too, visiting Spofford, visiting Rikers, visiting these places. They weren't visiting to come back home. It was like a rites of passage to go to these places. The mentality was very strange. Now as adults, we look back like, yo, for those that didn't lose their lives doing everything in between, now that we're big grown up people looking at the situation, it's like, yo, son, if I'd have known what I knew right now, I wouldn't have behaved like that. But there was an interruption even in between then to now, because with the drill music, because I'm in the industry here
I love
listening.
drill music.
I like it too. But you know what the problem is that these kids, and I gotta call them kids because I'm a big woman out here talking to the industry. I would be wrong for listening to them and dance. I can't even dance to this shit unless it's just a fucking hey. But guess what? The words are inciting fucking riots to kill each other. Real talk, like gangster rap, like how Ice Cube is coming out now, like against all this and like against the system. But son, you forget what y'all signed up for. You forgot what y'all signed up for. You forgot what they let y'all introduce the world to. Did everybody forget all of that?
Police. Hey.
But now we're at a new point where, the revelations have to come to pass with self, where the knowledge has come a little bit different. We've got to look at our situation differently and have a place for.
We have to value each other more.
That's it.
That's it. You have to look at your black brother and say, you know what? Okay, you stepped on my shoe. I'm not going to kill you today because I value you.
There you go.
That's just simply it. But we've been taught that we're nothing. Why value? You get more points for being a killer than you would be for going to college.
It was in a document I read about
even
3/5 of a human being.
I'm sorry.
What document was that?
But
That was the
even,
Constitution.
But even going to college is not even like the solution.
No,
Everything
but I'm
I know, but I just want to interject that part right there because I went to college, he went to college, a couple of us went to college.
We all went to college.
And guess what? We could still come out with these guns and fucking mash up the place on each other like, yo, I'm getting money right now because college puts you in debt. And I gotta pay certain things. And when I came out of college, my moms and them was starving and things needed to get paid and things needed to get done. And the solution.
I want to take 20 seconds to celebrate my queen, Miss Butter, because she is elevating the game with this conversation.
And she looks
with
good
the prep
doing
work that
it.
she put in. I don't get into that because I'm not trying to be Me Too'd, but I'm gonna take it a step back and saying thank you, Butter, because I want you to get roses while you can still smell them. There you go.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
I'll put some claps to that. I appreciate the fact that you see it that way. But I'm just like, yo, I'm an anthropologist. That was my trade in school. So I've embedded myself in the hip hop culture in so many different ways. And I have ways and means of I can speak truth to the power because I've seen and I've put myself, in a place from the Caribbean American girl that has experienced hip hop, and I'm transcending the wave of hip hop. And as it grows, I'm gonna grow with it too. And I'm gonna also let people know that there's elders coming through with music that you can listen to and feel as well too. We don't just always, we gotta bust some guns sometimes. Shout outs to that, what you said it was?
Drill music.
No, shout outs to the dudes out in Atlanta that came through the NFAC.
Nice.
Oh, the
Not fucking around.
Yeah, not fucking around coalition.
That's it.
We not fucking around.
And they, I just say, even if it was just to show face value, I appreciate that face value because when the call was made, the answer came.
Yes.
So that was it.
Let me ask you a question, though, because
Please
you talk
do.
about hip-hop, you talk about your love for hip-hop.
I do.
So is it one of those things that do we blame hip-hop for why we feel that we can bust guns on each other so heavily, because that's, if you listen to every hip hop song, the biggest song right now is Roddy Ricch and the Baby. That's, I love that.
Well, here's the
Brandon
thing.
Lamborghini, but what does he talk about there? I will kill you. I will bust a shot on you.
But
so
you know what,
does
though?
it start there? Do we have to change the lyrics in hip hop music?
Here's the thing.
Stop talking about killing each other
Here's the
for us
thing.
to respect each other, for the new generations
Here's the
that
thing.
come up.
And as cute as that may sound, we've been so conditioned to having the violence feel good that now it's got to feel good. Something else has to feel good. And as an entertainer, a rapper, or someone in hip hop culture that knows what the levels and traditions of hip hop values are, you know that you are a reporter of the times. You're supposed to be giving people the sustenance for the thriving of hip hop.
I was going to say, I want to hear from the artists. Yes.
I feel the problem with hip hop in general, I feel it in music or across the board, but hip hop in general, there's no balance. And when I say no balance, there's only,
it was lacking a balance.
It's you know, you only hear a certain sound. You only hear the trap sound. You don't hear the boom bap. And there was a certain time in hip hop, which, you know, I could go back to the 90s and even the early 2000s where there was more of a balance. I mean, yeah, you had your silly records that, you know, girls just wanted to back that thing up too. But then you also had, you know, the joints that were like mine, you know, they made you use your brain a little bit. Then you had the joints that you just want to, you know, wild out to. Okay. But right now it's all, you know, one style, and I think that's the problem with hip hop. But there's always been a
It's not. I don't even think that's the problem with hip hop. It's the problem with what's getting played for the masses.
Yes.
Well, that's what's being represented as hip hop, so we have to say it's the problem with hip hop.
But you know, the strange part, if you use Ice Cube as the example, he made Friday, and his point was saying everything wasn't the picture of the hood. Everything wasn't Boys in the Hood. Everything wasn't.
That's right.
He was reflecting what was fun, what happened on Friday. The trouble is there isn't the balance that you're talking about.
But see, the thing is, when you go back to that, when you say what appeals to the masses and what they put out, remember, these white people are the ones who own these record labels. These are the people who are making the decisions, is that this song is going to drop. So how do I divide black people more?
Because
I put this song out that's going to incite fury, you know, me being furious and me violence. That's what I'm going to put out.
Right, so they kind of,
my problem with that is that we don't have to go and keep making that.
But that's what sells.
But
put money in my pocket.
But what's promoted at the time is what's necessary for them to understand how their money's going to get made. I want to read this one thing, right? It's from the Final Call, you know, which it happens to be anybody that happens to be driving around Brooklyn or wherever,
Harlem.
You know, you'll see some Muslim brothers selling. They may give it to you if you say I don't have any money. They'll give it to you. So I just want to, you know, everybody to understand the definition of the hoteps, and the attacking of the hoteps is this little piece that I, you know, right. Pan-Africanists promote the unity of all descendants of Africa on the continent and in the diaspora. Black nationalists promote the idea that self-determination and an independent nation is needed for black progress and survival. They reject the integrationist ideology so often touted but still not achieved in American society. That's a fact.
Did T.I. write this? What?
No, this is from the Final Call. The RBG community, the name taken from the red, black, and green flag, which a lot of people see flying at the protests, given by the great black nationalist leader Marcus Garvey, is part of these traditions and philosophies. Today, however, these believers in black nationhood are often mocked as hoteps. So I just wanted to define that for you guys, which is why there is so much pain and disappointment over community infighting, which is one of the things that I wanted to talk about. We discussed that already, what, you know, black on black, like, you know, Indian on Indian, no Chinese on Chinese, no white on white. Like, come on. Throw that shit out the fucking window, kid. Crime happens. All right, Tariq Nasheed, best-selling author and maker of the critically acclaimed Hidden Colors film series, which is something that I've watched for many years now. He goes to Africa, shows you things that you might have never seen or might never be able to see based on your poverty level, can't travel, no passport. How many black people got a passport? Me? Anybody in here got a passport? All right, cool, so we can travel. All right. And Dr. Umar Johnson, a nationally certified school psychologist and popular speaker, are probably the most recent and most well-known to have a nationally known beef. Hotep beef is fucking whack. I hate that shit. But other conflicts or disagreements between group members, often leaders and scholars, have occurred and have been equally nasty. The clashes often appear to be tied to notions of respect or the lack of it, claiming movement territory and a refusal to back down when a perceived challenge arises, calling each other names, questioning their integrity or competence in public. I don't understand why that's an issue with them, said Professor Emeritus of Africana Studies Amen Ra at California State University, Long Beach. Oppression makes you fight each other and be crabs in a barrel and do the thing you normally wouldn't do when you become a victim of the psychological oppression of America. I'm going to stop there because I want us to take a little break. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready.
Just everybody to process that a little bit. And, you know, much respect to you, Asa Buchanan, for coming through with music of the times.
I'm going to say this before we take that break.
Go ahead,
Why
Peachy.
don't you break it down simpler because we're here and we can hear it, but that doesn't mean that it to the person listening,
Oh, you
they
want me to tell- I
understand,
can
they
say it in
couldn't
a-
comprehend it.
Could I add a little piece to
yeah,
that?
so sum it up for those at home
I'm
before
gonna
we take
give
a
it
break.
a summary. Everything that she says boiled down to one idea. We go through life trying to figure out a simple reality. What feels good isn't necessarily good for you. And good or bad, right or wrong, that takes time to figure out. So you may fight a truth only to realize it was obvious. And that's what that entire debate is about. People going at each other over concepts that they fundamentally agree on, but there's self-hatred mixed in. There's the messages from what you get in school, all the contradictions. But it's that key. What's good for you and what feels good are not necessarily the same things.
So before we even take that break, I want to, you know, make sure that everybody knows that the reason why I put together this anger management series here is because I'm someone that's developed a 12-week program for an alternative justice system. I've graduated over 3,500 men ex-incarcerates from my program. Some judges have thrown some extras in there a couple times for me, but when I've graduated these men from my program, it's because I focused on post-traumatic slavery stress disorder, because the root of majority of our problems comes from a lack of understanding of self. And with that ignorance comes a lot of hatred for self too, because I've even met people that hate everything about themselves without even knowing that that's what's happening. They hate their nigga naps.
Candace Owens.
You hate the back of Whoopi Goldberg's neck.
There it is.
Listen,
You
Why
know
do they
that
have to be
movie?
called nigger naps?
I hate
You know
my
why?
light skin.
No, I'm telling you, not because
I hate it.
I'm gonna find the clip from the movie. That's why I said it, because I don't usually use the word nigga, but I thought y'all would get it. Hey, if you ain't get it at that point in time. It was from a movie called Players Club. Was it Players Club where he said, no, was it Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice? He said,
gotta be
I
that
hate the back of Whoopi Goldberg's neck. That was when Bernie Mac was alive.
Oh, gosh.
And he said, I hate your nigga naps. I hate your black ass lips.
We all
I
got
hate
'em.
the back of Whoopi Goldberg's neck. Sorry, Whoopi, I love you a lot, but I'm just saying, they used you in the movie and I thought the shit was funny. And we laugh because the truth hurts so fucking much. There's so much to love about ourselves. And to all my listeners, I hope that you know this is the platform for the unknown to get known. We're not here to offend anybody. We just gonna big each other up in the best way possible. So, Hannibal, what
But you know
got?
what?
I'm ready.
It's hard to love yourself when the world teaches you to hate yourself. When
Not the
teach-
world. The world that you live in, the things that you've accepted inside of it, it starts inside of the home, what you love. When you go outside into that world and they show you hate and you internalize it, that's when it becomes the problem. We are not racist towards each other. A lot of us have self-hatred that needs reparations. Cut the fucking check.
So I'm gonna say that as
Play the music, hon. Hold
when
on,
we
we're
come
gonna
back, because
back.
we are racist towards each other. We're gonna come back to
No, I
that.
said we wouldn't be if we
Oh.
didn't have the love inside the house first.
Oh,
Cut
oh.
the fucking check. Cut the fucking check. Cut the fucking check. Drop that.
We living proof of life you just read about. We only come to turn the party out. We living proof of life you just read about. We only come
Welcome back to the Butters Basics Show every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. I just wanted to play you something pretty cool that you might boggle your fucking mind with. It's not a problem, man. Yo, happy Sunday Fun Day, man. Shout outs to DTF Radio for coming back on the air and making everything a liberty for the people that feel that their soul is based in radio and their voice needs to be heard. So I'm very thankful for all of that. Thankful for Team Butters Basics and anybody that has ever been Team Butters Basics. People sitting with me right now might be a part of something different, but once you sat with me here on the show, this is what it is, man. My name is Butter. Make sure you follow me at Gazebo, GAZZEBO. That's 2 Z's so you don't sleep. 11210, because I'm a Brooklyn girl all day, every day. Man, take a listen to this, man. Tell me what you think about that. Can you hear it? Oh, let me turn it up a little something.
The creation of an unwanted third race.
Let me start it over again so y'all could get the whole gist.
The half-caste child. And there are ever-increasing numbers of them. Now, what is to happen to them? Are we to allow the creation of an unwanted third race? Should the coloreds be encouraged to go back to the black? Or should they be advanced to white status and be absorbed in the white population? Now, time and again, I am asked by some white man, if I marry this colored person, will our children be black? And as Chief Protector of Aborigines, it is my responsibility to accept or reject those marriages. Here is the answer. 3 generations. Half-blood grandmother, quadroon daughter, octoroon grandson. Now, as you can see, in the 3rd generation, or 3rd cross, no trace of native origin is apparent. The continuing infiltration of white blood finally stamps out the black color. The Aboriginal has simply been bred out. Now, we come to the Moore River Native Settlement. Ladies, most of you are familiar with our work here, the training of domestic servants and farm laborers. I would like to thank you for your continuing support. Hundreds of half-caste children have been gathered up and brought here to be given the benefit of everything our culture has to offer. For if we are to fit and train such children for the future, they cannot be left as they are. And in spite of himself, the native must be helped.
So that was an excerpt from a movie, I believe it was called The Rabbit Fence, about the Aborigines in Australia, where they literally documented how they bred the black out of the Aboriginal man in Australia. And the reason why I wanted to share that with the world today was because, or at least my audience, you're my world, we're internationally local here. You can check the hashtag internationally local. You can see that I've been doing this work here with this situation to let you guys understand that there's a game plan where people have actually sat and discussed how to decimate the population of anything that is black, anything that is a darker skinned person here in the world, anybody that is darker in the world. And this is a reality. It's like some people can't face it, but some people don't understand why. Like
they fear greatness.
I've heard people recently saying, "Oh, we can't support black supremacy. What makes you think you're greater?"
Who, Terry Crews? Let's call it what it is. Who, Terry Crews?
Well, Terry Crews is an interesting character. He's a very interesting character because
Wait, he said that?
I like.
Yes.
I like the way
he said he's for human rights, not human wrongs. So as black people, we shouldn't feel like we should support black supremacy. Because he said there's black people that's bad, there's white people that's bad, but he's not basically going to say all white people are bad. He's just about human rights, not human wrongs.
Yeah, that's
you and your bouncing titties, Terry.
Did you call him Boston
Crazy.
titties?
No, I said him and his bouncing titties.
Oh, bouncing titties.
That's a crazy
Here's the thing.
equivalency.
I
Crazy
definitely,
equivalency.
for anyone that's listening right now, I definitely believe that the human race is all necessary to survive here in the world together if they all understood that we all were humans. I keep on saying this. Here in the United States, I surely don't think that everybody considers a black person, and even abroad, in India, in Sri Lanka, in Burma, in Australia, in New Guinea, in all of these places, that an indigenous person of darker skin, let's even take it to Japan and Hokkaido, where the Ainu people, the original black man in Japan with an African face, everybody that has an indigenous darker skin seems to be denigrated.
Because what it is that
let me hear your explanation. You got an
no,
explanation?
yeah,
for that?
because this is how I really feel. I feel like when slavery and everything happened,
even before that too.
But even before that, it just made it seem like, hey, we look at the black man, we're big in stature, you understand? We're scary. So let's target them, let's hate them. And it became a thing that even when slavery happened.
Hey, they make it like they say that we are scary.
No. But
What's
this
scary
is what I'm
about
saying.
them?
This is what I'm saying. To them, it's scary.
Right. What do you think that is?
To them, it's scary. So what they did is they said, you know what? We're going to make the rest of the world. We're going to make it a trend. If we make it a trend, because remember, everything comes down to trends. So if we make it a trend to say, hey, this person here, they're darker skin. Why would God do that? They must be bad. And once they did that, it was a thing that worldwide, it started to catch on. So now everywhere you go, they're going to look at the black person like that, like, oh, you're black?
So now but I would argue that post-2000, you have a new generation that has come up of people who have integrated, who have black friends, who live in Brooklyn. And when the police decided to put their hands on them in these riots, they turned around and said, you know something? It's not right that you do that. You shouldn't treat somebody that way. And now we're starting to see a change. So what I don't want to do is paint the possibility of what I'm seeing now in the same light as what I would say pre-2000. Because in the end, we saw something amazing in our lifetimes. We saw gay marriage become reality. How did that happen? That happened because perspectives
they'll push that agenda before they push
Black Lives Matter.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
This is my thing, though. I agree with
Gay
you.
people run the world.
I agree with you to a point, right? Because this is what I'll say. Yes, we have our white allies. We have white people who say we will fight for you or whatever. But the minute the tables are turned and you find yourself in confrontation with a black person, now how are you going to act? Is my life still going to matter to you? Because when we look at the Karens Gone Wild, right? And when that Karen was flicking off or whatever, doing to that guy, that gay guy, and he got out the car, the first thing she said, my husband is black, don't do this to me. But you had no problem calling me a nigger and being racist.
Right.
Okay, even when I watched 90 Day Fiance, right? White lady named Lisa went to Nigeria, got her an African husband, and at home was calling him a nigger. You calling him a nigger. So you can say my black life matters, but when we're behind closed doors, does my black life still matter?
I'm going to quietly push back and say one thing, and I'm going to use Barack Obama as an example. He was against gay marriage until he was for it. And what I'm trying to do, and trust me, I'm working hard at trying to do this, is to be patient as people begin to realize maybe what they've been trained in and maybe what they've been exposed to is wrong and not in their interest. And I'm just trying to have faith. Trust me, it is hard because it is so easy to turn around and say, like James Baldwin says, I don't believe what you say because I see what you do. And I'm seeing people continue to show up at these rallies. They're coming up with some decent plans and they need some help about figuring out how to defund and reform the police. I'm just saying I want to be there with them. That's all.
Yeah. So in closing of the show today, I definitely want to give a shout out to
our music artist who brought the fire today.
Asa
Okay,
Buchanan in the building. You know, shout outs to his manager.
Thank you.
Akin.
Akeem.
Just use it as Ak.
He's like, I got a black ass name, Akeem. I'm trying to make it elevate. It's Akeem.
Listen, man, I want to go around everybody. You know, shout out to the executive producer Juicy
Juicy in the house.
Yo,
Juicy is the glue that holds everything together for everybody.
Yo, Asa, where can they find you and why should they look for you, hun?
You can find me on multiple streams. Instagram, like I said, Buchanan Bangers with a Z at the end. Instagram and Twitter, and just plain old Asa Buchanan on Facebook. And look for me because, yo, I got something that you might want to hear. You might learn something.
Is that heat rock?
You might like something.
Is that edutainment?
Be careful, because you might like something.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Peachy Suze, where can they find you, my dear?
You already know the Sundays brunch, 12 to 1 on DTF Radio. Peachy Suze, all platforms, PEACHIESUZE.
She's a comedian. She's an actress.
If you want to laugh, if you want me to talk some smack and get you mad, I'm the headache to do it.
Get on the gram, the female fuckboy.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Yo.
Just don't tase me.
Akin.
Just keep my pretty face. That's all I said. Don't tase me.
Akin. That's what I said.
Why she keep trying to sound like James Earl Jones?
Where can they, Akin, where can they find you, Akin, for management?
It's Aka.718 at Instagram.
Oh, man. Aka.718. Make sure everybody, yo. Akin. Yo, Hannibal.
DJ Hannibal on SoundCloud. DJ Hannibal on SoundCloud. MT1906 Spring of 91 on Instagram, and I post my mind.
Yo, make sure that you follow. Oh, wait, what'd you say, hon? What'd you say?
SoundCloud as well. Buchanan Bangers on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Too. I ain't post nothing new in like 2 years.
Nah, you new right now. That's it.
I want to give one final plug. Give light skin a chance. That's all I got to say.
Dark skin forever, baby.
Hello, dark chocolate. Hey, baby.
Make sure you follow Juicy at Quit While You're. That's U-R ahead.
Spell it out for them.
Q-U-I-T-W-H.
Oh,
my
shit.
God.
Spell it.
Q-U-I-T-W-H-I-L-E. U-R-A-H-E-A-D. Yo, I can't even spelling bees big time. Yo. And you can follow me, Butter, and this is Butters Basics Show. You can follow the Butters Basics Show at Butters, BUTTERS _ Basics, BASICS, and you can follow me, the host, Gazebo, GAZZEBO, and that's 2 Z's so you don't sleep. 11210, because I'm a Brooklyn girl all day, every day. Please believe it. Join us next week, y'all. I got some more for y'all. I hope that you're enjoying the series, Anger Management for the Diaspora. Today was all about why the darker skinned people in the world are placed in a downtrodden path. Peace, everybody.
Colorism.
Somos dioses.